If transportation hadn't come such a long way, can you imagine still having to walk everywhere? But thankfully, that's not the case, because humans have always found better and smarter ways to make getting around easier. And now, we're surrounded by high-tech rides that make life so much easier. Just look at electric skateboards, for example. There was a time when people traveled across countries on horseback or in bull carts, and now we've got a 30-inch board with 4 small wheels zipping people around at crazy speeds. That's a huge leap, right? But how did we get here? What made someone think, let's put a motor on a skateboard? Who came up with this idea, and how did it evolve into the electric skateboards we see today? Let's know the answers now. So, if we look back to the past, you'll find a relatively young story of the skateboards. But we actually can't say it's a yesterday's thing. Almost around 45 years ago, the idea of skateboarding was born. Though, the skateboards we have today are fully electric. The very first attempt at this innovative solution was a gas-powered model. Back in the summer of 1975, it all started with one guy, Jim Rugroden. He was a physics student from Berkeley, California. Jim built what's now considered the first motorized skateboard. But instead of using an electric motor, Jim's board was powered by gasoline. Interestingly, he designed a skateboard that ran on a lawnmower engine. To get it going, you had to yank a cord, kind of like starting up a lawnmower. Once it fired up, the board could hit 25 to 30 miles per hour speed and travel 10 to 15 miles. Pretty impressive for the 70s, right? But sadly, the model wasn't exactly safe to ride. The board had small wheels, which meant even the tiniest rock could send you flying. And if you happened to crash, there was a pretty big risk of gasoline spilling all over the place. Eventually, due to the noise and pollution concerns, California decided to pull the plug on these gas-powered skateboards, banning them in 1997. And that pretty much ended the era of gas-powered skateboards. Fast forward to the late 1990s, another guy came to the scene, Louis Finkel. He was the guy who invented the first true electric skateboard. His board, unlike Jim's gas-powered creation, ran on electricity and introduced a wireless control system. Instead of the standard remotes we see today, Finkel's board used a unique method. The rider's body acted as a conductor that sends signals through a metal strip under the trigger finger all the way to the deck and receiver. It was a creative and futuristic design. Surprisingly, the board could go from 0 to 22 miles per hour in just 4 seconds. And Inkel managed to sell around 1,500 units before eventually selling his company. By 2004, electric skateboard technology had advanced enough to produce more refined and efficient boards, though details from that era remain scarce. The real turning point, however, came in 2012, when 3 innovators, Sanjay Dastur, Matthew Tran, and John Ullman decided to launch a Kickstarter campaign for a new kind of electric skateboard, the boosted board. They initially set a funding goal of $100,000, but the response was overwhelming. By the time the campaign ended, they had raised nearly $500,000. After the funding, they came up with a 12-pound board that could hit 20 miles per hour speed and instantly became a sensation. Boosted boards became the gold standard for electric skateboards for a while. So much so that whenever someone saw an electric skateboard, the first question would be, is that a boosted board? The brand was basically the face of high-performance e-skates. They've also set the bar for what people expected in terms of quality. Things really took off when YouTube creator Casey Neistat started showcasing the boosted board on his channel. His videos not only introduced people to this cool new way of commuting, but also created a whole new community of riders. But like with any industry, competition eventually came knocking. For a long time, boosted boards pretty much dominated the market, but there was one major issue: they were expensive. A single boosted board could cost around $1,200, which made them pretty out of reach for a lot of people. But that all changed in 2019 when WowGo released the WowGo 3X. Unlike previous attempts at boosted killers, the 3X was built to outperform boosted boards in every way. The WowGo 3X came with a flexible bamboo and fiberglass deck, which made it more comfortable to ride, and a 10S2P battery that offered a 12 to 15 mile range. Plus, it had an old screen on the remote that showed battery life, speed, and trip details, something boosted remotes didn't even have at the time. And the best part? The WowGo 3X cost only $750, which was almost half the price of a boosted board. From late 2019 to mid-2020, the market exploded with new mid-range boards like the Backfire Zealot and Exway Flex. These boards were pushing the limits of what an electric skateboard could do. So, if you see the journey of skateboards, they've come a long way from a gas-powered experiment in 1975 to the high-tech, affordable options of today. More people are turning to these sleek, battery-powered boards, not just for fun, but also as a serious way to get around. From 2018 to 2022, the electric skateboard market registered a growth rate of 5.4% CAGR. Back in 2023, the global electric skateboard market was valued at around $2.3 billion, and that number is only going up. However, the latest data about the projection hasn't been on air yet. But according to the market researcher, projections suggest the skateboard market will reach around $3.69 billion by 2033. The growth rate varies depending on different forecasts, but estimates suggest a CAGR of anywhere between 5.86% and 12.2%. Well, there are several factors behind this constant rise, and one of the biggest is the demand for eco-friendly transportation. According to the Virtue Market Research, there's an 80% rise in demand for eco-friendly transport solutions in 2023. As people become more conscious of their carbon footprint, they're looking for sustainable alternatives to cars and motorcycles. Electric skateboards, being zero-emission vehicles, fit perfectly into this movement. They offer an efficient and fun way to get around without contributing to pollution. Plus, the research also says that there was a 25% surge in electric skateboard enthusiasts in that year, and around 70% of skateboard users reported that it reduced stress levels. So it was pretty definite for the market to see a rise. Another major driver is technological innovation. Battery technology has improved significantly, with lithium-ion and graphene batteries extending range and performance. Features like wireless controls, AI-powered riding modes, and app integration are making electric skateboards even more appealing. Riders now have more power, better efficiency, and smarter controls than ever before. Let's not forget the recreational aspect of electric skateboarding. Younger riders, in particular, are embracing e-boards for leisure and sport. Whether it's cruising along the beach, tackling off-road trails, or zipping through city streets, electric skateboards offer a thrilling way to enjoy the outdoors. The rise of social media and YouTube content around electric skateboarding has also contributed to its popularity, with influencers showcasing the latest models, tricks, and long-range rides. When it comes to market dominance, North America is taking the lead. In 2023, the region accounted for about 32.7% of the global market share, driven by a strong recreational skateboarding culture and an increasing preference for eco-friendly transport. The US, in particular, has seen a surge in electric skateboard usage, both for commuting and casual riding. Other regions, especially Europe and parts of Asia, are also catching up as cities invest more in micro-mobility solutions. Now, if you see the future ahead of electric skateboards, they are only getting faster, smarter, and more efficient. With better battery life, AI-powered safety features, and even self-balancing technology on the horizon, the way we move around cities could completely change. But like any fast-growing industry, there are some challenges along the way. One big hurdle is cost. Electric skateboards are packed with advanced technology, which makes them way more expensive than traditional skateboards. Not everyone can afford to spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on one, and that can limit how many people jump on board. Then, there's the safety issue. While these boards are fun and convenient, they also come with risks, especially when riders are going through traffic at high speeds. On top of that, different cities and countries have strict rules about where and how they can be used. Some places even ban them altogether. Still, despite these challenges, skateboards are getting higher reach. What started as a niche gadget for enthusiasts has turned into a serious mode of personal transportations. Sure, there are challenges, but the momentum is undeniable. Whether it's for fun, commuting, or just cruising around, they're here to stay, and they're only getting better. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you have any further questions or would like to share your thoughts in the comments below. And as for everything else, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And hit the bell icon if you want more content like this on your feed.